and welcome back to the Jesuit Sports Hall of Fame Selection Show, the 2017 edition. And this has been a very special class in a number of ways. Outstanding athletes, outstanding men that went to Jesuit College Prep. But we're now going to speak to one of my all-time favorites. And I say that because I got involved at Jesuit back in 1998. I'm Tom Walsh, and I got involved with Jack Fitzsimmons calling Jesuit Ranger football on the radio back in 1998. And those next 3 years, 99, 2000, 2000, 2001, and 2001 to 2002, I got to see this young man absolutely dominate on the hardwood. I'm speaking to the Jesuit Sports Hall of Fame newest member from the Jesuit class of 2002, Kyle Wilson. Kyle, congratulations on what I know everyone agrees is a well-deserved honor.
Thanks, Tom. I'm kind of overwhelmed, super excited, and extremely honored to be a part of this class. Just a very special moment for me.
Well, you're certainly deserving of it, and we're going to talk about why here in just a moment. But I gotta start with a shout out to your parents, Steve and Jackie Wilson. I've known them for 20 years. They go to Prince of Peace where I go. I see them all the time at Mass. We talk about you, Kyle. I don't know if your ears are burning, but I ask about you periodically, and they've told me just how well you've been doing. But I mean, I know you'll agree. You've got a couple of outstanding parents.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a lot to thank them for. One of those things is getting me to Jesuit and opening that door, and it's just led to a lot of awesome opportunities.
Well, Kyle, you were a big part of this Jesuit basketball program for 3 years. You were, I believe, a starter as a sophomore, junior, and senior. You were the team MVP as a junior and senior. I mean, you were one of the most dominating players in the country, one of the top recruits in the state of Texas, and you played for 3 outstanding basketball coaches. Do you want to talk about them?
Starting out as a sophomore, playing varsity, had the awesome privilege to play for Scott Jolly. Just a great basketball coach, great team coach, really a great person to learn from, especially starting out at the high school level, not only X's and O's on the court, but just playing the game the right way. Following that year, my junior year, was able to play for Jack Fitzsimmons. Again, super quality person, coach, can't say enough great things about Coach Fitz. Learned a tremendous amount from him. And then my senior year, played for Coach Fred Yonkman. Came in, and again, another superb coach. And I look at it playing for 3 different coaches. Each one had a unique coaching style, a unique take on the game, unique X's and O's, and being able to learn from 3 quality people like that just set off for an awesome career from there. So really appreciative of all 3 of them and their contributions, not only to me personally, but also my basketball career.
Well, I'm a big personal fan of all 3 of them. Had the pleasure of getting to know each of them very well here at Jesuit. But Kyle, you know that Jack Fitzsimmons is one of my best friends in the entire world, and I know he really is a special individual. Talk about what you got to experience with Coach Fitzsimmons today.
Got a phone call this afternoon while I was sitting at my desk at work. Actually missed the phone call just due to meetings and such at work, and listened to the voicemail, and I mean, not even a second into the voicemail, I recognized that voice instantly, and was really excited to hear from him. And I gave him a call back, and pretty quickly on, he let me know that I was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I told him this. I said, there's not any other person that I want to hear this news from. So that just tells you the special relationship Fitz has with not only the guys that he coached, but just the men at Jesuit High School. So special guy, and he's one of those guys that I know that, if I don't speak to him for a while, we can, when we do make contact and speak, it's like it was, my junior year and he's coaching. So can't say enough about him. Great guy.
Well, that's very well said, Kyle. Now, when you were here at Jesuit, as I mentioned a moment ago, you were one of the top basketball players in the state of Texas and in the country, for that matter. You were a finalist, one of the top 100 finalists for the McDonald's All-American selection, and you got recruited to go play basketball and accepted a scholarship offer at the University of Illinois by one of the all-time greats in college basketball circles. He's currently at the University of Kansas, and I'm talking about Bill Self. Talk about being recruited by and getting to go play basketball for a legendary coach like Bill Self.
Yeah, man, a lot of things that I could talk about. I mean, obviously the work that he's done in his career speaks for itself, and the success he's had, the players that he's been able to bring in at every level that he's coached at in college. Great recruiter, incredible X's and O's. I vividly remember first getting up there and experiencing some of those practices and how intense it was on the court, but also just I hadn't thought about the game in the way that he demanded you think about the game. So definitely brought out another level in me, brought out another area of potential that I necessarily didn't see in myself. And like I said, there's a reason that he has become one of the best ever. Very good coach, and I really value the year that I was able to spend as a part of his team.
Well, you were part of an outstanding recruiting class, some very highly touted freshmen that went up together with you to the University of Illinois. You had Darren Williams, who of course was a many-time All-Star in the NBA for the Utah Jazz, recently played with the Dallas Mavericks, and D. Brown. And those young men went on to get to the NCAA National Championship game. Now, you decided after a year at the University of Illinois that you wanted to go play basketball for another well-known coach who's had great success at the time at Wichita State University, talking about Mark Turgeon, of course, who also had great success at Texas A&M and now at the University of Maryland. Talk about getting to play for a different style, but another outstanding coach in Coach Turgeon at Wichita State.
Yeah, very different from Coach Self. Their coaching styles were very different. The way that they taught the game was very different. In all honesty, I feel like Coach Turgeon's style fit more to my personality and my game. So I got along really well with Coach Turgeon and his entire staff. He made the transition very easy for me, being brand new, coming in from a different program. I had to sit out that year due to NCAA requirements, so had a year to grow into that system. But Coach Turgeon is another very successful coach. Have a lot of appreciation for him and his abilities, his knowledge of the game. In my opinion, I feel like he's one of the best out there today in college basketball as well. So I feel very fortunate for being able to play for two quality coaches. I think they'll both go down in history as the top of their game, top of their class in coaching. So look very favorably upon both of them, and both helped me a lot as far as my knowledge of the game and my abilities and growing as a player.
Well, basketball, people that know college basketball know that the Missouri Valley Conference is one of those hidden gems. Outstanding basketball played in the Missouri Valley Conference. You played at Wichita State. You got Bradley. You've got Creighton. You've had really a lot of quality teams, quality coaches, and To me, if I could watch a Missouri Valley Conference regular season game, that's something I'm interested in watching because it's great basketball. Well, you were named as a sophomore to the all-newcomer team. You were all-conference as a junior and as a senior. I believe as a senior, your team was ranked in the top 10. So you left a great program in Illinois, but your transfer really paid off as well because you played on some outstanding teams there as well. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, anytime you transfer, you make a decision like that. I knew what I was leaving at Illinois, and you even mentioned a year or 2 years after I left there, they ended up playing in the championship game of the NCAA tournament, a dream for any kid going to play college basketball. And I knew there was a chance I'd be giving that up, leaving. But I also knew in the potential that Coach Turgeon had and what he was building at Wichita State. And I believed in him. I believed in the value that I could bring that team. And it was motivation for me. So going there and fulfilling those dreams, I feel like it's even more rewarding. Wichita State at the time hadn't been to the NCAA tournament in over 20 years, I want to say. So being able to win the Valley, make it to the NCAA tournament, advance in the NCAA tournament, get to the point my senior year where we were ranked 7 or 8 in the country, beating teams like Syracuse on the road at the Carrier Dome. Those are really special memories. And, I'll even say probably more special being at a Wichita State as opposed to, a major conference school.
Well, you mentioned the run in the NCAA tournament. I believe y'all were a Sweet 16 team your junior year, top 10 team, as you just mentioned, your senior year. And I know we didn't talk about this off camera, but the fact that you mentioned the victory over Syracuse, I think is especially appropriate since our sports information director here at Jesuit, Brian Montgomery, is a big Syracuse fan. So I'm glad you were able to work that in. Who's sitting here in the room with us as we're putting this on. But as great of a college career you had, and frankly, you had a great college career. You had a great career at Jesuit. Your career was not done. You played several seasons in a professional basketball overseas. Talk about that, both from an athletic standpoint and how it helped you grow as a person to be able to experience different cultures.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to play and make money playing a sport is just something that's very, very special. And I know a lot of people that don't get that opportunity. And for me, when you factor in being able to travel the world, see places that, I never imagined that I would be able to see, is really rewarding. And I'll say that, probably the traveling and seeing some of these countries, meeting some of the people that I met, developing friendships that I'll have forever, is more special to me than the basketball even was. It was just the means to have that opportunity. But yeah, it was, it's one thing to, play in leagues or play here in the States where your coach can speak English, where your teammates can speak English. But there are teams I played on overseas where, just for an example, I'll be sitting in a timeout, coach is yelling at everybody on the team in, their language. We've got one of my teammates who's on the team from there translating to the Americans. So you got the coach yelling, you've got the translator yelling in English. And I kind of took it as, I don't know what he's saying, but I'm going to assume he's saying get Kyle Wilson the ball. So that's kind of how I took it. That was my approach. Probably not the right approach, but it worked for me and it made me enjoy the games that I was playing in. But yeah, a cool experience. Was able to meet a lot of really neat people. Really shrunk the world for me, and really made me more interested in travel and more interested in world affairs. Just a lot of different things, just from experiencing the travel part.
Well, Kyle, let's conclude with this. Again, we're so proud of you. You're absolutely deserving of all the honors that are going to be bestowed upon you on April the 29th at the 19th Annual Hall of Fame Banquet, the Blue and Gold Banquet. But I know you're living in Springfield, Missouri, and I think you got your hands full these days, and you know what I'm talking about, so why don't you go ahead and comment on that, and we'll wrap up this, what has been for me a very, very enjoyable interview.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start out. I've been married for 10 years. Janae Wilson. We have 4 awesome kids together. The oldest is 6, so 6, 4, 2, and 9 months. I will say we're both very busy, but it's a blast. There's no down moment, but I wouldn't have it any other way. A lot of excitement, a lot of fun. They definitely keep us on our toes, but we'll have a blast with it, that's for sure.
Well, that's great. Well, Kyle, congratulations. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us. We'll look forward to seeing you on April the 29th. And you deserve this honor, my friend. Congratulations. Kyle Wilson from the Jesuit class of 2002.